Welcome to Think Big with Dan and Qasim. Join hosts Dan Melnick and Qasim Masood as they explore big ideas, limitless possibilities, and engage with visionaries, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders who dare to dream big, get inspired, motivated, and find practical tips for personal growth. Think big, dream bigger, and ignite your potential.
All right, welcome to Think Big with Dan and Qasim, and our guest today is Royal. So, Royal, if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself, tell us where you live and what you do for a living.
Hey there, folks. My name is Royal, and yes, that's my real name. I have to tell that to people, like they don't believe at first that my name is Royal. Yeah. So I'm founder at SPUR, that's SPUR, and we are basically a support and marketing automation tool in the e-commerce space. And we are built for modern messaging channels like Instagram, Facebook, and WhatsApp. I'm tuning in right now from India, Gurgaon, right? It's 10:30 p.m. here, 10 p.m. here right now. And yeah, but just in my home, which is also my office. So our employees come here, they work with us. So at day, it's like our office. At night, it's like my co-founder and my home. Yeah. So yeah, this is my office. This is my home. And thanks for having me, man. Thanks for having me on the podcast.
Of course. So can you just tell me, like, how did you get the idea? Like, did you have like an e-commerce shop? Like, why e-commerce? Like, why this tool?
Yeah, man. I mean, that's quite a journey, right? So, and that journey kind of includes, this varsity jacket that I'm wearing right now. But, like if I were to tell it like quickly, so like nobody is just like starts entrepreneurial journey like that when they're in college, right? Because when you're in college, you have like pressure from your family, right? You have pressure to perform, you have pressure to sit into placements, right? But I was kind of lucky to find like my co-founder in my final year, and we both knew that we wanted to build something together. That's just the only thought we had, right? And luckily, again, like our college was offering some entrepreneurial courses at that moment, so we participated in those courses and we just started throwing ideas, building stuff, right? But at the end, we realized that these ideas, these things that you start, they have to be original. They have to like originate from problems around you. Like you have to become like an original person, before you go ahead and build something, find the problem. So the problem comes to you, right? So it was, let's say, during May 2021. So that's like peak COVID. And in Delhi, in Delhi, India, like there was a lot of shortage of vaccination. And around that time, me and my co-founder, we just had built a product and, had to take a hard call of invalidate it. Like we did like an entire research and we figured out that, hey, maybe this is not the biggest problem of the people we are trying to help, right? So around that time, this COVID time, we saw people were not able to book COVID vaccination slots. There was this website, people had to go there, book a slot, and yeah, they had to spend like an entire day because it would get over in like a second. So we built like a quick thing. We built like a Telegram bot that would send you a notification as soon as a slot becomes available near you. Like you enter your PIN code, it's available near you, get a notification, right? And yeah, man, we actually built it for ourselves, our family, so that we can get vaccination slots. We shared it with our friends. They loved it. They shared it with their friends. And in like a month, we had around 150,000 users all across India using that Telegram bot. We even got featured in like newspapers and stuff, right?
Oh, wow.
We solved that problem, and from there, people started thanking us. Yeah, they started sending us, money over, to support us, to support our journey here. And they also started sharing ideas with us. They were like, hey, this is a pretty cool bot. Like it's very simple and it's solving such a big pain. Can you maybe build like an automation within Telegram that will help me sell my products? And we were like, okay, that's interesting. And that sounds like reasonable. And that guy who recommended this idea to us, he was like willing to pay us. We were like, yeah, like we are happy to build, like you're also giving us money. So we started from there. We built it for that person on Telegram, but we quickly realized that people on Telegram, they just come there to torrent and download movies and stuff. So it didn't really work out. But around the same time, Instagram opened their APIs that enabled, folks like us, enablers like us, builders like us to build solutions on top of it. So we see a lot of, our friends who are there, maybe opening their own shop from their home, like a home-owned business, like a cloud business, right? We're like, they have to handle everything, man. Like from making the stuff to like talking to customers on the DM, like selling it, like even, so it's a long process. So they only have like 24 hours in a day. So like, let's maybe make that time they spend on talking to customers, let's reduce that, and so that they can focus more on their business. So we did that. But what actually we learned was, these folks, they first want to maybe graduate to a website, right? And then they want to try out some solutions like this. Because right now at this stage, talking to customers for them, it's like, building their brand. It's like getting to know like what sells. It's like, their entrepreneurial journey. It's necessary for them to talk to their customers. But that gave us the idea, okay, so but there are also people who have maybe a website, right? They're already established, they already have a product, maybe a product market fit, so maybe something like this can work from them. And we did not see anything like that in the space, in like the entire Indian e-commerce space. So yeah, we learned from our previous experiments. And the first thing we did was we did not build a single thing. Like we did not write a single line of code, because we have experienced that, man. We are core builders. It's hard for us not build, right? So we did not write a single line of code, and we just jumped straight into sales. We we posted an Instagram story. We got in touch with our mentors who we made like over the past year during our previous experiments, right? And we tried to get initial customers from that area, and we just solved one problem. After talking to all of those people, we figured out that there is one problem in the space which can be solved via an automation like this. And that problem is like really funny if you like hear about it. So in India, we call it the PP problem. So it's like there is a brand. They post something on Instagram, like a product photo. Then let's say you are scrolling Instagram. Instagram is like a very scrollable feed. You don't really have time to, stop and do stuff, right? So people are just scrolling and they see a product and they're like, okay, this is interesting. What's the price of this? They just write their PP. PP means price, please, right? And now, like all the brands we talked to, they had that problem. Like they had like thousands of comments, like coming in their posts asking for price. And you're like, okay, like this sounds simple enough. So without even writing the first line of code, we built the solution for them, which just did what? Which just, connected their Instagram post with a product from Shopify, right? And as soon as someone comments, they get the product in DM. Man, it worked like magic. So it's like, that like at that point, I was like, oh, this is so great. I want to build like more magical stuff like this. So it's like when you show something to someone and they're like awestruck and they tell you like it's magical, you're solving like such a big pain for us. It's like, yes, we should double down on this. And before even we build the app, we had like 10 customers who were willing to pay us. It was at that point that in 2 months, we built the solution around it. We launched it on Shopify. On first day, we had 10 customers who were on our paid plan, ready to pay us, with reviews are on a Shopify app. And yeah, man, from there it started, and it's like a lot more now.
So what percent of your customers are in India versus like in North America, for example?
Yeah. So I would say from North America, we have around 10 customers, 10 customers. So percentage wise, it's 95% from India mostly, right? But right now, that's the exact thing that we are doing. We are expanding more globally. All the installs we have had like globally are mostly organic right now. But right now, we are trying harder to get into those space more thoughtfully, right? By building partnerships, by doing a lot of stuff. Yeah.
So what is your biggest challenge now? Is it this like, global expansion into North America, or is it something else?
Yeah, man. So basically, we are not really talking North America. Like we want to build for, America, because America has like the most number of Shopify and e-commerce stores that you will find out there. In India, it's just like, 30,000, but in America, it's like close to 800K or something, right? Like Mr. Beast is making videos about Shopify. Everybody's making videos about Shopify. Like you see it online, right? Of course.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. So the biggest challenge, is around setting processes, building a team around those processes, and making sure those processes work. And if those processes aren't working, then try to fix them, right? Work around that, right? So and let's say when you have like the first success with that process, like you just double down on it. So we are like doing a lot of things at the moment, right? From partnerships to direct sales, from building a PLG motion, right? To like making videos with AI. Like you will find an AI version of me and my co-founder on the internet explaining our product, right? We're doing a lot of things, right? So the biggest challenge would be right now to maybe, find out the things that are working and doubling down more on that part. And the hardest part is like stopping the things that aren't really working, because because if your focus is like diverted towards all of these things, at the end you are just, moving. You're not getting anywhere. Right. So I would
Right.
say that.
So you're saying it's more of like step one is, streamlining and mapping out these processes, making them more efficient. And then
Yeah.
from there, once you do that, you're okay, like let's go and expand, but you don't feel comfortable, I guess, going all in on North American or US expansion
So
until
let me
you
tell you.
guys map out this process.
Yeah, let me tell you why not North America. Because right now, what happens is, like I told you, we are core builders, so like we always want to build more and more stuff, right? But we have to, learn to like slow down and maybe just sell what we already have. The market of e-commerce is like one of the biggest market out there, right? That's why
Right.
we are in it, right? That was one of the major reason of being in it also, because
Right.
it's always, TAM is always first, then it's team, then it's your product. Your product can change anytime, man. Your
Right.
team, your team sets the culture. You build a different product. If the team is like killer, they will kill it in the next product, right? Building a product
Right.
is easy, but you can't really change your market like every day. Like we can't go from like, let's say, e-commerce to like sport,
Oh, for
right?
sure. No, yeah.
Yeah, man. If you have like a smaller market, so like I heard this example once. Like let's take the top 10, tennis players in the world, and you take the top 10 badminton players, right? So I mean, they all work hard, like almost the same, right? They are like training day and night. They are almost doing like the same like stuff, right? Almost, right?
Right.
But you'll see that the top 10 tennis players, they earn like 10x more than the top 10 badminton players. Like
Right.
that's the name of the game. Like they're in a better market, right? So yeah, we are in a good market. We like being in this market, and we already have built a lot of stuff, around conversational commerce, which is still like fairly unexplored. And like I told
For
you,
sure.
our app Spur is built for modern messaging channels. So you have WhatsApp, Instagram, and Facebook, and these platforms are giants. They keep building stuff, they keep pushing stuff. It's like they're a train moving at a very fast speed, and you just get on board the train and you like get with them like somewhere, right? You just have to be on that train, right? So we are trying to go more towards the conversational markets in the world first. Like let's say, for example, UAE, Mexico, right? You have Indonesia, right? So all of these places, they're conversational in nature, and you'll find like a lot of people use their WhatsApp there. They use
Yeah,
Instagram
we
and
don't use WhatsApp the same way here. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, that's one of the major. But we are soon bringing in, like, we are builders. We still like building. So we are bringing in email and SMS really soon as well, and that will also open the doors to the US market, which we are excited to explore in the next year. Yeah.
For sure. So in terms of the actual product itself, so do you have like your own LLM or do you have like an API to GPT? Like what does that look like?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So it's basically, a lot of talking between different platforms. So we are built on top of a lot of platforms. So we are built on top of, let's say, Shopify. We are built on top of, let's say, Instagram. So let me walk you through a journey of a brand, that comes and installs Spur. They come to our app, they install it. First of the thing they do is they connect it with their preferred sales channel. So we started with, Shopify. And how you expand your market is also you go and integrate with more platforms like this. So we have recently, built a partnership with Find platform, which is an Indian platform. Similarly, we are building with WooCommerce. So they connected with that. When they connected, like now we get stuff about their store, like everything. Like we get like how many customers they have, what customer has purchased what in the past, right? Everything, right? When an order comes in, when an order is shipped, so we know this stuff, right? And then we connected with their channel messaging channels like Instagram, Facebook, and WhatsApp, right? So connecting that, is also an effort, right? And every platform has like different type of messages that you can send. So these type, the like you and I exchange like normal messages, right? I send you a hi, you send me a photo, you send me a video. These are like normal messages. But there are, some amazing type of messages in these messaging platform, which some people don't even know about. Like not a lot of people know that you can send messages with buttons in Instagram. They don't see that. Right now, maybe you might be seeing a lot of, influencers on Instagram and stuff like that, asking people to comment. And as soon as you comment, you get something in DM with a button, right? So these messages, they're called rich content. So we have to build we have to enable, Spur to send different kind of messages in these different kind of platforms. So all of this stuff, like WhatsApp tells us what kind of messages they support, Instagram tells us what kind of messages they support and what kind of messages you can send. And then you have like rules on top of that. So for example, on WhatsApp, you can't really, send a normal message to someone. You first have to build a template. You have to get that template approved by WhatsApp. That template should not have some kind of keywords, some kind of language, structure, rules that you have to follow, right? And when WhatsApp approves it, then you can send it to your customers. But they also have a limit on that, right? When you start, you have a limit of 1,000 customers in a day, 1,000 contacts in a day. Then it increases to 10,000, then to 100,000, then to unlimited, right? But in Instagram, you can't even send a message to like that to like a person like outside before they have even like messaged you. They have to first message you first for the automations and these kind of messages to work, right? And then we keep on go and build integrations with, tools around this space. Like let's say we have built integrations with logistic partners who do a lot of, shipping for our customers. Like there is ShipRocket in India, right? And then we build integrations with tools like, Loops for reviews. So let's say as soon as someone purchases a product, it goes to their home. They have spent at least like 5 days with that product. Our customers can, send a message to their customers and ask for, an honest review. Hey, what do you think about it? And WhatsApp, let me tell you, my friend, WhatsApp has 90% open rate as compared to 15% or 10% of email. So that's the real magic of WhatsApp. So our brands are getting like 10 times more reviews they have ever gotten from any kind of email they have sent before, right? So as soon as we collect the email within WhatsApp, we store it in our own database, and that database is then connected to Loops, and it is directly like pushed to their preferred review app of choice. So that's how it works. That is also kind of magical, building flows like this, getting so many reviews, while earlier they were like not getting literally anything. Yeah.
Yeah, there's lots of value there. So if we're going to have this conversation again in 1 year from now, where do you see things going for the business? Like in terms of, I guess, even if you can just share like how many customers you have now, like what's the goal for next year?
Yeah, man, absolutely. So we have more than 350 customers, 350 brands, e-commerce stores all across the globe using Spur right now. Most of them are on Shopify and most of them are from India, like I shared earlier. But yeah, a year from now, I see us, working with top brands like, let's say, Feastables, for example. I love Mr. Beast. I love the brand that they have built, right? And I see ourselves like having a lot of other channels, let's say, for example, email, SMS, right? Push notifications. That's like even still like 2, 3 months. But where I see, Spur going forward is, right now you have two giants in the space. Let's say you have Klaviyo. Klaviyo is there for like, Klaviyo is the marketing king, man. Like they recently became public and everything, right? Everybody learns from Klaviyo. Like whoever gets in the space, they always like, install Klaviyo and they see how Klaviyo is doing stuff, right? Then you have like Gorgias. I mean, Gorgias is the king in the support space, man. Like you can't deny that. Like the way they handle, tickets, the way they have the views, the way they, give you the reports to you about their agents, like that's fantastic, man. You can always be on top of your business. You can always provide the best customer support to your customers, and that takes your business forward. So where I see, Spur going forward is, becoming like the king of both of these categories, right? So like whenever like somebody thinks about doing any kind of support actions or marketing actions within a single place, they think of Spur, right? They don't have to like think twice before doing that. They know it, right? Like we know right now, like marketing Klaviyo, support Gorgeous, marketing and support Spur. Yeah, that's how we see it.
Exactly. No, exactly. I mean, that's exciting. So what would you say is like the one biggest piece of advice that you wish you knew before you started this company?
Yeah, man. Yeah. So before I started, that's like you're hitting me with some big questions, man. But yeah, yeah. So the biggest thing, before I started, like I there are two things, there is, shipping things earlier, focusing more on sales rather than just, building. It has to be a good mixture of those, right? And second thing that I would say is, get out of the building, just get out there, like actually go to your customers, sit with them, see how they do stuff, right? Like, let me give you an example. So, like I told you, this varsity is related to our story, right? So before, we even, talk to, let's say, some of our first customers, right? We knew we were getting into a space that we knew nothing about, right? We had to get our hands dirty. So, what we did was we were graduating in June 2021. So, like, it's been almost more than 2 years since we graduated, right? And after you graduate, you get some kind of merch, like some varsity jacket, some hoodie, something that you can wear, So, like, this is from Triple IT Delhi, from where I graduated. I did my double major in computer science and design from there. So I was always the design kid. I used to design everything for every fest, for, I was the head of my, design club, right? So what we did was we announced that we are, making these varsity jackets for our batch and for the batch below us, right? And through that process, what we did was we learned about, actually designing a piece of cloth, a piece of product that you can sell online. So this is like entirely designed by me, and this is like the sample piece that we got. So this process also involves, getting samples from manufacturers, choosing your manufacturer, right? And then, we learned selling it. So we made our own Instagram page. We, shared it with all of our friends everywhere, right? We tried to get people to buy it. We tried to get people to comment. We tried to go to website. We built the website, right? And then, one of the hardest part that we didn't even realize that is, we will like have to face. It was, let's say, around shipping the product. So the manufacturer, they just, sent all the products to our home. We, my co-founder and I, we, sat together. We packed all of them. We individually, printed everyone's address. Then we had to like find like a logistic partner who will ship it to these customers that we made that time. And we made some good profit from that also, like let's say 1K from just selling these hoodies,
That's
varsity.
awesome.
So we learned from that process, and we used that as a wedge when we went and talked to our first customers. Because when you're going and talking to your first customers, it's like one of your first ventures. Why are they going to trust you? Like, people ask you, okay, you have built this, but why you? Why should we trust you for building this? You don't know nothing about us. You have never worked with any e-commerce brand. We were like, well, you see this varsity jacket, like we like we wore it. Like, well, you see this varsity jacket, like we designed it ourselves, we printed it ourselves, we shipped it ourselves and did everything. And that kind of inculcated trust in those early customers. And yeah, I would just tell that to people.
For
Yeah.
sure. I mean, I think, I always use like this expression, like some of it is like fake it till you make it. But I think it's like, you have these conversations early on and you built something that you didn't like, you weren't just guessing, right? Somebody reached you and said, hey, Royal, I have this problem. Can you help solve it? And you said, okay,
Yeah.
like, let's do it. And I think from that standpoint, it's like many companies struggle because they are trying to solve problems that don't exist. But you
Yeah.
actually work with someone, you solved the problem that existed, and you're helping lots of companies. I mean, 350 to this day, which is very impressive. And we're rooting for you. So if somebody
Yeah.
watching this wanted to reach out, do you mind sharing your company website or social media? Just
Yeah.
best way to get in contact with you.
All right, let's get into it. So yeah, folks watching this, e-commerce brands, founders, anyone, you can all go to our website, spurnow.com. That's spurnow.com. And you all can follow me on Twitter at _Royal Tomar. And you can find me on LinkedIn also by Royal Tomar, right? I'm always active there. You'll see me posting every time. You'll see me, talking about my journey. So I love, talking about the things we are doing, how we are building our team, how we are building the product, and sharing that online, sharing that on Twitter. Like, just now, I was talking to Obvi CEO. So Obvi did like 40 million sales in 40 months on Twitter. I was just talking to him on Twitter.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Posted this like a journey of a founder. It has, let's say, a lot of ups and downs. And even today, it's filled with emotions. And even today, like I woke up at 9:50 a.m. and I started working at like 10 a.m. Onboarded one of our customers, helped one of the customers with a setup, also maybe talked to a customer that was having some issue, and a lot of other stuff, right? And then I saw his tweet and I was like, yeah, he's totally correct. Like, I had like such a long day and now I'm going to a podcast. So yeah, I love
Yeah,
doing
we
this.
appreciate it. Yeah. Well, Royal, thanks again for your time. And as I said earlier, we're rooting for you.
Thanks, man. Awesome.
Thanks.
All right.
All right.
Take care.
Bye.